Collectibles underscore guru. This is Jake Greenbaum. He came here and got, again, one of the first people to kickstart my education on Pokemon. This box break was actually his idea. This box break was your idea. I have to give a shout out to you.
BGS, 10,000, 20,000 plus, maybe 30.
Are you sure Bulbasaurs are $30,000 cards?
Maybe 30.
They're not saying 30, saying at least 30. And it could be more, minimum.
The Bulbasaur is worth $30,000. I didn't know that.
Breaks. How did they begin? Where did they start? What's their influence today? Are they playing a role in the lack of product availability? Are they affecting card values? So many questions behind this phenomenon that we're going to have to take a short look at it. But mainly, how are they affecting the hobby of card collecting as we know it? And is this the future of collecting at risk? As we explore this explosion of other people opening packs for other people, we're going to discuss if there are positives or negatives to this trend. And is it just a short-term fad while we live our lives semi-locked up in what has occurred over the past 2 years? But first, let's take a look back at a little bit of history, how all this modern-day collecting got started. The 1980s and 90s were the era that inspired so many to collect, like myself. I first began collecting Garbage Pail Kids, then baseball and hockey cards in the mid-80s, leading my way into the early 90s. Your typical kid just having fun, looking for my favorite professional stars like my hometown Detroit Tigers, or the Red Wings or the Lions and the Pistons, as well as many other favorites that I had growing up, the Montreal Canadiens, the New England Patriots, Chicago Cubs. It was a boom like the hobby of card collecting had never experienced before. Little did we know, but we were in the middle of what is known today as the junk era of sports cards. Also in the 90s began the first prominent new style trading card game called Magic the Gathering from Wizards of the Coast. This TCG took the world by storm. While battling against the new age video game era up until the very late 90s, when Magic's first true TCG competitor hit all the way from Japan, known as Pokemon. In Japanese, the name of the anime is actually called Pocket Monsters. Not far behind followed other popular games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon, all based off animes, TV shows, movies, magazines. It all took off so fast, it created a new hype outside of the sports card collecting world. There was nothing more satisfying than buying a pack and ripping it open. The anxiety, the excitement it would build with each card reveal in hopes you'd pull a huge hit. Or you'd get the disappointment of getting the dud pack. Then on to the next pack. Both kids and adults went through these feelings. It was a phenomenon like no other. A craze that spurred an economic boom, launching new companies and lots more to follow.
2020, the year that really kicked off breaks. And the reasoning behind that's pretty simple. It was the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, it caused a shortage at stores. They just weren't being stocked. And a lot of people really weren't going out hunting,
Except for people from the sports card world.
How did this all begin with them? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's actually two reasons behind it. There's a very famous YouTuber and entrepreneur named Gary Vaynerchuk. He started pushing the investment aspect of Pokemon back in 2018, going into 2019. And as many people very well know, 2019 is really the year that kicked off Pokemon. It really brought in a lot of new people into the hobby thanks to a set called Hidden Fates. This all rose the values of Pokemon. That, with the information Gary Vaynerchuk was giving out to his followers,
get all in on Pokemon.
That brought in a lot of sports card people to start investing into Pokemon. Quickly, we saw Pokemon infiltrated by scalpers and flippers. When someone walks into a store and literally grabs every single product off the shelf in front of you and leaves nothing left, that's scalping. And then turning around and reselling it for 2, 3, 4 times the value of MSRP, that's flipping. So yes, the hobby of Pokemon was hit very hard because of scalping and flipping in 2022. This is where breaks really began to grow. Because why bother running out to your store, hunting Pokemon, and finding nothing and battling against other people when you could easily go online at your fingertips and you could find a break? Now in 2020, breaks were still very minimal. In fact, the original origin of breaks started around 2007 in the sports card world. It wasn't long after though that 2 people from the Pokemon world decided to hop in on that game. Deriums Pokemon and the Nostalgic Factory. These are the 2 trendsetters from the Pokemon world to start breaks, and each do them very differently. The Nostalgic Factory focuses on the elements of the Pokemon, so it's very much more like gambling rather than Deriums, who's basically just a rip and ship. So you buy a certain amount of packs, they're gonna rip them open regardless of what the elements are, what you get, and you're gonna keep the hits, they keep the bulk. Now enter 2021, the year that pretty much finished off the highest point of Pokemon values in history. Crazy insane prices were putting people out to the point where people started to walk back out of the hobby. They couldn't afford it. They didn't want to fight over it and they weren't going to spend the money. As 2020 came to an end, 2021 saw a huge influx of breaks really taking the hobby by storm. Breaks started popping up everywhere. Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Pretty much everywhere you turn now, you'll find a break anywhere you turn at this point. The other major contributor to the spike in breaks came in the form of brand new sellers to the hobby. So in 2020, 2021, when people couldn't find product as well, they started turning to becoming a seller themselves. They were applying for distribution license. An insane amount of people were applying to become a seller. With so many people becoming sellers, without the real understanding and responsibility it takes to go into a relationship with a distribution company, a lot of these new sellers were getting stuck with a lot of product and it wasn't moving at this point. So therefore, they turned to breaks. Enter 2022. We are probably in the largest era ever of breaks. But what are the positives to breaks? What are the negatives to them? Let's go ahead and take a look. Number 1, buying at your fingertips. As we had mentioned previously, buying into breaks is really simple. Go online, find one that you think you like, and you enter into the break. It's that simple. Number 2, not worrying about your bulk, only the hits. So when you buy into a break, as I said previously as well, you pretty much just get the hits from the packs that are opened on the break. The bulk stays with them. The reason why a lot of people don't want the bulk, they don't know what to do with the bulk. They don't realize that there are many different avenues that you could actually take with your own bulk. You can resell your bulk. There's people who buy it. You can also trade your bulk in. But it is a hassle, it is a lot of work, and a lot of people just don't want to worry about that. Number 3, not spending money hunting down the cards yourself. So breaks again made it so much easier by sitting at home, not spending money on hunting and driving down or your time trying to find product. Breaks made it so accessible to everybody to get product. Now whether the price is the same, that's a different story. The price is typically a little bit higher in breaks, sometimes a lot higher, all depending on the breaker. But you are saving yourself from driving around, wear and tear on your car, fighting against the crowds, hunting from store to store. So there are some positive aspects in that regard to breaks. Number 4, there is a community experience in breaks. Yeah, believe it or not, oftentimes in lives with breakers, there's a community in there, and you're all there for the same reasons. You're all there to either watch the polls or participate in the break, and there's often a great community that gets involved in that. So there's that aspect as well that a lot of people just wouldn't be a part of otherwise. Number 5, breaks for charity. So there are some breakers who have been doing things for charity, which is an absolutely epic thing to do. And I couldn't be more supportive of those people who are doing it. Recently, you had Steve Aoki, Gary Haase, otherwise known as King Pokemon, King Metazoo now, the Hydro Pump, and a few other people have been running breaks for charities, which again I fully support, and I think is really epic of these people to do that. So basically, there's a lot of donating going on, and supporting that I think is a great cause. So that's definitely one of the positives to breaks. Now that we've given a few examples of the positives, let's go ahead and take a look at the negatives to breaks. Number 1, you have no idea where those packs are coming from in the break. And what I mean by that is, are they coming from elite trainer boxes? Are they coming from booster boxes? Are they coming from collector boxes? From character boxes? From tins? You have no clue where those packs come from. And here is the reason why that is important. If anyone has ever gone to Vegas and gambled, or any casino for that matter, if you sat down at a blackjack table, you're given odds. These are the odds to win. And this is based on how many plays per hand and such. Pokemon is no different in the aspect of packs per ratio in the product. So often, as many of us who've opened up our own product know, there is no guarantee out of all the packs you get in that product, you're going to receive a hit. However, there's a fairly accurate ratio to each product you open regardless. So if you're opening an Elite Trainer box, for example, you pretty much know you're gonna get 1 to 2 hits in that Elite Trainer box. Very, 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 very seldom do you never get a hit in Elite Trainer box. I have personally experienced that, but it's very, very rare. However, you could also get 3 hits in Elite Trainer box, but again, it is a rare occurrence that happens. So for that matter, you know an Elite Trainer box typically has 8 packs in it, you're gonna get between 1 and 2 hits. If a breaker is opening up all Elite Trainer boxes to get their packs out, that means the ratio to hits just went astronomically difficult for you as someone buying into the break to get a hit. So therefore, that is the gambling aspect that you're getting into with breaks. And your ratio to losing is much higher. Again, you don't know where they're getting those packs from typically. Now, again, I'm going to refer back to Deriums Pokemon, who basically opens from booster boxes for the most part. So you know in a booster box, you're going to get on average 8 ultra rare or higher hits. That's the average. Sometimes 7, sometimes more than that. And then there's a typical average of around, I think, 15 total hits, including holos. The same with the Nostalgic Factory. Beige pretty much only opens up booster boxes, but I have seen where he's opened up Elite Trainer boxes as well. Typically that's only when the set does not offer a booster box though. But again, with so many breakers out there, you just don't know where the product's coming from. Number 2, swapping out your pulled hit for a lesser quality of one that they have currently in their own collection, or maybe one of their friends. So yeah, that means basically when the breaker pulls your hit and they take a look at your Charizard and it's a perfect 10, or at least visually it looks like it is. When the break is over, they may swap that Charizard card out for maybe their own Charizard that's of lesser quality. The reason this has been happening is there hasn't been enough of a trust foundation set amongst all these new breakers that are out there. There's so many people turning to breaks now. That's why there are certain breakers that tend to get a much higher crowd out there and have built up a much bigger audience. It's because of trust. Trust is a huge factor in breaks. Another very unfortunate aspect to all of this are the scams. There have been quite a few scams already caught, and they're on YouTube, they've been on Twitch, and it's very unfortunate, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at a couple of these scams right here.
Now, I didn't get to see if he actually opened that box, but as you can tell, he starts out by removing the pack from the booster box and sets it down on camera. Then he kind of messes with the flap. No, what's this right here? He pulled pack there, as you could tell, and now he's messing with it. And then he's trying to act like he couldn't open the pack up. So he didn't even actually try to open it. He was literally just messing with the flap, but he's telling everybody that there's more glue on there than there should be, and thus he can't open it up, which is why he brought it into himself
It's like
to
got extra glue or something, so hopefully that means there's something very nice inside that Panini are trying to protect. Here we go.
If you look right now, he reveals part of the pack, and it looks pretty thick, and it doesn't look like anything's bowing out or any issues from that little piece that we can see. Let's continue watching. Watch what he does now.
Wait a minute, what is going on here?
He immediately reacts to as if there's something wrong, but yet he didn't fan out the cards or really look at them to know that there was a card missing. So now he goes off camera without explaining anything. Now he goes to find the pack in the garbage, but he takes a long time and he's looking far away. But let's look closer. Looking back at the video, it looks like he literally drops the pack right there next to him. So why is he looking far away and forever to find the pack when it looks like it should be right there?
Wait a minute, something really weird is going on, guys. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Something very strange has just happened. Bear with me a second. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, guys. I've never ever seen this happen before. I've never seen this happen before. I'm very sorry, guys, but something really fucking weird has just happened. So basically, boys, what?
1 minute and 40 seconds. That's how long he left his customers in the dark, having no clue what was going on.
What has happened is that pack was like very difficult to open. It was almost like it had extra glue on it.
It doesn't look like he's making any effort to really open the pack. He immediately pulls it off camera without even trying, and then he's holding it close to his body, and I'm not sure why he's being very delicate with the pack when he opened other packs fairly quickly and didn't really care that they ripped.
But it also felt very light, and there's only 4.
If you look at these side-by-side comparisons, which I know it's a slightly difference there, but you can clearly see the left side is pretty thick compared to the right side, both top parts of the cards.
Cards in this pack instead of 5, which I've like never seen happen before in any trading card product ever.
And then we watch him kind of fumble around. He grabs the booster box to take a look inside. As if by some miracle, the card simply fell out of the pack on its own and is in the booster box. And as we see him roll his chair backwards, still looking around, as if he's looking for this one single card that must have went flying as he opened the pack, because he ripped it like an animal, but that's not actually what we saw.
I've literally never seen that happen in any trading card product before. I don't know if the rare is missing, but there's only 4 cards in this pack when there should be 5. It was like more difficult to open than it should have been.
And then finally, we have another example of a breaker who may have possibly opened up his box first and then resealed it. Because again, pulling packs off camera does not bring trust to your community, it brings questions. Have a look at this one.
In this video, we can watch the scammer open this box up. Notice his right hand grabs the box and holds it from underneath. He holds the plastic on very tight. He holds it on to the very end, and I believe he did this because the box had already been previously opened. This was also pointed out in the comments section by many other breakers. Notice how he handles the box through this whole transaction. Notice here how the front tab just pops right out. He barely puts any pressure on it. Most of the time when you try to open brand new boxes, that front tab sticks pretty good. We're almost to the good stuff, everyone. Notice here as he pulls on the packs, there seems to be air or something in that top pack as if it had been previously opened. Watch how his fingers actually almost open the pack. Typically those brand new packs are pretty tight. And now it's time for the most conclusive evidence to these packs being resealed.
Alright, next pack. Oop. Alright, last pack here, guys.
Did anybody else notice this? Not only did he open off camera on all of his cameras, but did you hear anything in the form of a pack ripping? No. We actually hear what sounds like nothing, like as if he pulled that pile from the side, not even out of the actual pack.
And most recently, this issue's not a scam, but it ties in with the whole trusting the breaker aspect, and that is the backyard breakers. So these crazy guys started just giving away a whole bunch of stuff. They opened up the box that they were going to give away, and there was a roughly estimated $25,000 card in there, and they were going to not give it away. Let's have a look.
Tell us if we're scammers. Watch this. Watch this. About to give this away right here, right now.
Oh yeah, Grant, we have a
We're about to give away the absolute box for free. I'm giving away the full box to one person. We're giving away the full box, and we're gonna rip it, sleeve it, encase it, and ship it to you. Let's rip it first and then give it away. Let's rip it first and then give it away. Oh my God.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Put that one over there.
We have a kaboom.
We have a kaboom.
We have a kaboom, and we're giving away a kaboom for free.
We're giving away a goddamn kaboom.
We're giving away a kaboom.
And it's gold. No way.
We have a gold kaboom for
This
free.
is a minimum 2,000. That's not even fair, honestly.
That's not even fair. We should keep it.
That's a 15. Guys, I'm sorry, we can't give that one away.
Okay, we can't give that away for free. It's a $25,000 card.
Holy
Are you kidding me? How is that BS? We can't give away a $25,000 card.
Stop it for free.
We're giving away to Twitch followers for free. We'll give away hobby boxes.
Stop. Guys, if it wasn't $25,000,
Yeah.
like we would give it away.
Yeah.
But we're not. This isn't a joke.
This isn't a joke.
Like, this is serious.
Who would take $25,000 cash out of their pocket and just give it away? We're not Elon Musk. We're not Bezos.
Not yet.
Roll it. If the people don't understand, it's okay. Let them be.
Pretty wild stuff, right? This upset their community. This actually blew up so big, it became pretty much news everywhere in the hobby community between sports cards and even the TCG world. And so I believe they ended up giving the card away. However, again, this all ties into trusting your breaker. Number 3, many breakers are not offering insurance. So if you pull the $100 or $200 Charizard card from your break and they send it to you and it gets lost, the unfortunate aspect to this is the breakers are not insuring the card values properly because it saves them money. And of course, the postal services, whether it's the government postal service or the private postal services like FedEx or UPS, they will not insure your card for the market value. They're going to insure your card for what the pack value is, or what the value that the breaker put on the insurance, if they did the insurance. And so this is another detriment to buying from a break. You must make sure when you're buying from breaks that you are getting insurance on the cards. Number 4, it's a pretty simple one. It's the simple joy of opening a pack yourself. So one of the biggest negatives that I personally find with breaks is not having that fulfillment of ripping open the pack, listening to the ripping sound of the foil opening up, looking inside, pulling it out, and just the excitement myself of getting ready to see whether I either have a hit or I don't. I think that's one of the best aspects of card collecting. It's opening the pack up. It's the thrill of getting a great hit, or it's the super down of failing at that pack. And I think that's one of the most important aspects to card collecting, is the enjoyment and the fun of it. But that's a personal choice. Not a lot of people really care about that point, but for me, as someone who's a true hobby collector, it makes a big difference. Number 5, breaks are seriously affecting the resale market of our cards. If you do value the price of your cards, if you are investing into cards with breaks, because they're becoming more prominent, so much larger on scale, there's many more of hits being accumulated. Therefore, Instead of being maybe just 100 Charizards out in the market, now you're seeing up to 400 or 500 Charizards out on the market, something that you would have never seen before. This affects the resale value of cards. It affects the aftermarket. So let's look at this as a long-term issue. Over the long term, as people begin to trickle back out of the hobby, the issue is we know that there's an exuberant amount of that particular Charizard card out there in the open, which now brings down the value of the card. And the more out there, the lesser the card is worth. And we really saw that with Celebrations. As people really delved into Celebrations, the value of Celebrations has dropped tremendously. You had at least 10 cards, I believe over $50, going up to $100 at one point. And now there's just one card, and it's not even over $100 value anymore. These are raw prices. Again, the more that breakers are opening up and pulling the big hits from the sets, the value decreases of that card. I think that's one of the biggest negatives that people have not really understood quite yet, because we're still very new into this whole new world of breaks. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed the break effect, the in-depth look into breaks and how they affect the hobby and us as collectors. If you did enjoy, please smash that like button. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. Always would love to have new people on board supporting us. And of course, click the notifications button. That way you're notified every time we upload a video. And as always, have more epic adventures with us, EpicTube HD everybody. Till the next one, peace out. See ya.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what is the biggest Unlisted League video I've ever made in my whole career, because today I am officially announcing my first ever completely official Unlisted League Pokemon box break.
Okay.